Nisoinga basakan tigon Meghalaya News 24 channel onar mchaksoa. Tani khoborang de. Turani gital MP saling sangma. Mijal salni bako chi banari e niknika ko matgapa plain bell chol onari angi nirokani ko dakaha. Wosomayo sangma baksa gacham MLA SG Esmatur Mominin Brigadier Marak aro Ferlin CA sangma bar yang paha. Sangmaniya plain bell chol onari angi nimutuk somayo. Wo jolni mandirang baksa bangin agan gilkani ko dakaha. Wa sumayo wa mandirangni bulsianti chi banari e niknikani ko matnani gaman aganani rongkoba knaha. Wandagi sangma ye niknikani rangko namatna dengtang Central Department rang baksa kham khatna khadungani ko nangaha. Saling sangmani uyatani gitadi patanggaman bulsio Central Crore Hazal Chet ko dengtang adokrang na nataha. Jekai Assam na Crore chasa Arunachal na Crore khulgur katam aru wandagi guppenang nabo nataha. Dakyong ingon sangma ya chi banari e niknikani ko matninggapa biaprang na bai khamgapa namatani ko na khadongani ko aganangaha. Skorong Minister Khonat K sangma Meghalaya Youth League hajalgani kholgruk bri ko State Convention Center o oprakyo nangaha. Ya sumayo ya league ko soka chakinggapa office bearer Meghalaya Football Association ni President Hamletson Doling Sunish CM Baksana Meghalaya Olympic Association ni President John F. Karsing ba bakrangha. Ye league July khulgruk thariko ni abachingen. Aru ya khalsusa anyo adokni dengtang bako dongenggapa mandirang reba e khalsusagen. Ye league ko section ge gani rake donga. Wan bulsi chibrini ngo khalgaparang sub junior level ongen. Aru bulsi chidokni ngo khalgaparang junior level ongen. Adokona rabana minggapa smart road project ko dakna amjawa ninke adok sorkhari ragal plaha. Ketalgapa janapanyo aganani gitade ya somayo ramarangko tharina smart road ni phal songjinmani mungsonggapa ramarangko thari chingna onskagen. Dakyong ingon lachumir jolo smart road kesa kode machot kija galspe donna nanga o gakaha. Wandagi Meghalaya adoko gichi isni smart city project rangko kham khainga aro dharni uyatani gitade ya project rangni bidingo batangaman somayo review meeting ko bong ataha ne pharagataha.
They prepare about actual execution. It is a big problem. It's happened in other cities also. So that's why we thought if it seemed that the execution is a very problem. So why we should this time management on this? So let us go for the resurfacing all the maximum all the city road within the city as of now. Well, you see that time when they make the DPR. And actually on the spot there is other line department is involved like PHE, PWD, electricity, so it's a lot of problem. There is a road which is very narrow, so no space. So it's happened sometime the project is happened. No, extend maybe for those cities who have not completed there. Wow, we already completed all the work within a smart city. So we are yet for completion only. Maybe for other city, maybe there is some problem around it. So we are hopefully now for 2.0 smart city. I'm yet to meet the Union Minister maybe after session requesting for the next 2.0.
Assam Rifles Khangba Changna Assam Rifles Annual Women's Football Tournament ko Northeast Ajani adokrang nong atinga. Aruya tournament ko Sentinels Cup ani bimung donaha. Ye rubul khalsusa aniyo Meghalaya, Assam, Nagaland, Tripura, Arunachal Pradesh, aru Mizoram ni michek tol rang bak rangaha. Union Donor Minister Jayoti Raditya Skindia Scruber Salo Meghalaya Sorkari Baksa Courtyard by Marriott Shillongos Kodong Minister Khonat K Sangmani Dongpa Anyo review meeting ko ataha. Wandagi khobor athunggaparang na Skindia ni aganani gitade ye thome chanchirwani ko dakmatung sumayo wamang New Shillong Investment Area na gatal directorate ko tharina mani bidingo aru ya biap ko gatal gappa chasongni songjinma atna mani bidingo chanchirmanga ha ni pharagataha.
As you can see, we've had a very long and a very thorough and a very exhaustive discussion on the path forward that Meghalaya intends to take under the able stewardship and leadership of Chief Minister Sir. For me, it has been most importantly a very educative meeting where we have very clearly outlined in many ways the areas of core competence and comparative advantage of Meghalaya, the Chief Minister and his government's path of progress and development for the state. I, on my part, as Minister of Donor, have outlined the path that we need to take in the NER Northeast region, looking at each individual state's comparative and competitive advantages going forward and to be able to build on that. I have been truly taken aback and pleasantly so with the plans that the Chief Minister's had for the new Shillong investment area, setting up the new directorate. I've given in our discussions various inputs as to how we should look at a new modern city with our traditional strengths, and as in addition to that, looking at areas of core competencies such as tourism, agriculture, IT, and how we should build that going forward. So today has been a very exhaustive 2.5 hours on really strategy and planning and path forward for the state, and we will continue to work together, not only on particular projects that are important for Meghalaya, but also on the macro strategy for the state, keeping in mind our comparative and competitive advantages vis-a-vis the rest of the states in the Northeast, vis-a-vis the 36 states and union territories within India, and also vis-a-vis our immediate neighbors, and therefore looking at aspects of even international trade and international connectivity. So there is a tremendous amount on our plate as we have gotten up today in terms of building blocks that we need to strategize on, and I look forward to working on that with Sangma Sahab in the near future.
Donor ni Union Minister Jayoti Raditya Scindia, uni North Eastern Council Shillongona reba mateng somayo, Northeast Region Agri Commodity E-Connect web portal ko aro mobile application ko abachingate unaha. Yako abachingate unani muksongani de, gami ki ichagapa mandirang na aro ukubre ichagapa mandirang na dakchakani ko naung inga. Ya NERACE app agriculture aro horticulture ni busturang ko, jekai bolam bithe, rasin jatlak mi isu samjak, aro genderang ko palna dakchakapong inga. Donor Minister Jayoti Raditya Scindia, hospital rang ni social audit ni bidengo, Northeast Ajao Chi Banaria aro aarang begruani bidengo mai dake kham khana nangani geman adita aganani rangko takangaha. Wandagi Donor Minister Scindia, Modi Sorkari ni Northeast Ajako India songni namroro slorowani dogacho longna kham khani bidengo ba jana pangaha. Dakyong ingon Scindia ni khobor atum parang na aganani gitade, wo Northeast Ajana budget rangko swalani geman aro kham khana muksongani geman aganangaha.
Well, there is a single body. I don't think it's important to necessarily look at whether it is you or you who's going to be the funnel, but it's necessarily to not look at only process, but also to look at outcome. Not necessarily to look at only outlays, but look at the outcome. So for example, in the donor ministry now, we have put together in the last 2-3 weeks, we have put together consulting all our people that we will not look at only utilization certificates and completion certificates for projects. We will try and make sure that all our states also do a social audit. So for example, if a hospital has been put up, or for example, if a school has been put up, that's brick and mortar. But brick and mortar alone has no value unless there is a soul inside the brick and mortar. So a hospital must have doctors, a hospital must have nurses, a school must have teachers, because that is the real soul. and therefore not only a UC and a CC, but also a social audit as to how many patients have been treated in a hospital, how many students have been taught in a school. That is very monumentally important in our path of progress as we go forward. So I'm trying to bring a new dimension to the way that we think in partnership with all our states, so that we can reach our common end goal of development and progress as enshrined by the Prime Minister in his insistence of ensuring that Viksit Bharat means a Viksit Northeast. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Juice.
Meghalaya adoku bisa bakatsak ni siya ba infant mortality rate kolachi gitam percent inga aru yan national average na bata. Maina national average te kolachi percent ni khamausa nga ni Dr. Mary De Barma aga nga ha. Naki adoku bisa bakatsak ni siya batar kingon Dr. De Barma thangni chanchiani aru jajringani ko pharaka nga ha.
Yeah, so the infant mortality rate is calculated as the number of children born who have died with as per 1,000 live births. So the infant mortality rate in Meghalaya is 33%. That means 33% of our babies per 1,000 live birth is dying. So most of this is due to complication related to childbirth, then the unscientific practices of the newborn, and mostly also attributed to home deliveries, because 30% of our deliveries in the state is done at home. It is very serious in the sense that it has a very socio-economic implication now, because many parents, they don't want to accept birth spacing or family planning for that matter, because they don't know which child is going to survive. Because the infant mortality after the child is born, most of the time 70% of our children who are dying out of the infant mortality, they are dying at the early months. That means neonatal mortality within 1 month. So the mother, when she delivers a baby, so she does not know whether the baby will survive or not. As a result, she is not going to accept any means to delay her pregnancy again. And then now, if there is going on, this cycle keeps on going, so there is no arrest of the family size. As a result, there is also indirect effect of the socio-economic growth, not just of the family but of the entire community at large.
Dalni khoborang ni yarangsan khoborang ni gaman nambate winas kinchmode Meghalaya news24.com oni ko ni nagta mangen sakanti ko ni sohani na mathela